Six Flags just made their big 2024 announcements, and we're here to break it all down for you. This is exciting.
They made a lot of announcements today.
I know. We haven't seen this many new additions in the Six Flags chain since before COVID.
Yeah, and they're all like quality additions, I would say. Like,
yeah,
they
pretty much.
Feel like there were any. Oh, for the most part, I didn't feel like there's any kind of like throwaway.
But
weird
in the
choices.
past, that's what Six Flags would do. Is they said we're gonna add a new attraction at every single Six Flags park, and some of them were like duds. It's like, oh great, we're getting a Larson loop,
Yeah.
or we're re-theming one flat ride. You know?
Yeah, they feel more purposeful, more well thought out, and I feel like they're taking more of like a Cedar Fair approach where they pick a couple parks, focus on those, and then maybe next year it'll be the other ones.
Yeah, because we do have some Six Flags parks that are not getting anything. So let's just quickly mention those so no one's like, oh, what about this park?
Hold on, let me get out my sad violin.
I know. Nothing for Six Flags Magic Mountain,
Womp womp.
Frontier City,
Womp womp.
Darien Lake, Laurent, Mexico.
Why did you laugh about Laurent?
Because it's Laurent. Discovery Kingdom's not adding anything either, which is a little strange because I remember seeing a banner at the park saying we're taking to new heights in 2024, and they haven't announced a new ride.
I wonder if it's coming later.
Yeah, are they just gonna be the last ones to make an announcement? And then if so, are any of these other parks gonna add like delayed announcements?
I don't know, because like Over Georgia and Fiesta were a few days ago, and then all the other ones were today. So maybe there's like a couple stragglers.
Maybe
They're
because
just in waves.
yeah, Discovery Kingdom, like why would you tease something if you're not gonna do it? That makes me think that it's on the way for sure. But like taking to new heights, I mean that park doesn't have a drop tower, so that'd be probably my prediction.
Probably it.
They already have a big frisbee. I doubt it would be a new roller coaster, but I mean could be wrong. And Six Flags New England, like Goliath, that empty plot of land. Like I thought for sure we were gonna see something at Six Flags New England next year.
RMC Le Monster, like please.
Laurent, I love that. Yeah,
something.
I thought for sure that we would have gotten a new flat ride at Magic Mountain, like next to Wonder Woman, because they had like that big empty space. It's okay. So we got some decent rides at a couple of them. So what should we do? Let's talk about maybe the roller coasters first.
I don't know. Maybe we make everybody wait to find out about those. Although you can literally just look it up yourself. But if you want to hear us talk about it, you have to wait a sec, because let's talk about the flat rides first.
Okay,
Keep you on your toes.
All right, so we got two Zamperla giant discoveries coming to the Six Flags chain. We have Six Flags Great America and Six Flags St. Louis.
I'm honestly like surprised that Great America didn't already have one. I feel like in my head
they do, but the seats are facing inwards. These are outwards, and so this is like on a much bigger scale.
Yes.
But what's interesting is this one is either going to replace their current frisbee or go right next to it. It's in that location near like their Sky Coaster. I can't remember. They might be taking that out for it.
That's giving like Krusty Krab 2 vibes.
As for Six Flags St. Louis, though, that one I would be willing to place money that it's going in the plot of land where Excalibur used to be. That was their really unique flat ride that just recently closed. Sad. But that's prime real estate for something like this.
These rides are really, really fun.
Yes.
And they always have lines because, one, they're a spectacle. Mm-hmm. And two, they're just like really cool, unique experiences. So like, I don't know, I feel like they're always crowd pleaser rides.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So we have two re-themed and like upgraded lands within the Six Flags chain. So first, the one that we've been seeing a lot of teasing for, that's Fiesta Texas. DC Universe is expanding, just getting like Zamperla Nebula is like the biggest one. Two smaller attractions. One of them is kind of like a monorail, like take you around. That should be cool.
I actually think it's like kind of awesome. Like I do think that like the DC thing at Six Flags Parks is kind of like
it's overdone.
That and the Looney Tunes, I'm like, I kind of like unique themes better. But the fact that they're just gonna steer into it and make it like not cheap and tacky, because I know some of the DC areas are a little cheap.
Well, and Fiesta goes above and beyond compared to every other Six Flags park.
Seabird, he's like not even a human. I don't even know what he is. He's like a god of the theme park world. Like he's amazing.
Yeah, the everything that Fiesta Texas does, they're just constantly upgrading. They're bringing everything together, like they're renaming their Starflyer to Supergirl. So like everything's just gonna kind of feel like cohesive. Our next rethemed land is for Six Flags America. They're turning their Frontier section over where like Mind Eraser is into a new steampunk themed section called Steamtown.
So when I said at the beginning that there's like none that I would consider kind of like a weird throwaway, the SLC?
Yeah.
Suspended coaster, is that really what they're calling it?
Yeah, so they're renaming Mind Eraser into Suspended Coaster. That's the best you could come up with?
I don't get it, and that doesn't even fit with the theme.
No, like
at all.
That one seems like a really poor decision. I actually hope that they reconsider that and come up with something better.
I hope they take the feedback from people and they're like, wait, no, this is stupid.
I'm not mad that they're like getting rid of the name Mind Eraser, because like that's again.
It was
like,
very accurate.
Yes, it is, but like, come on, you guys can do better. New trains and a big repaint, so it's gonna be red now. This ride needed some help. I would have personally just rather than bulldoze it and put something else there. However, if you're not gonna do that, this is not bad.
I heard from several people that they did.
That they closed the ride?
That they tore it down.
Yeah, it was like really strange.
It was like a weird Mandela effect or something where everyone was like on the same page that Mind Eraser had been torn down, but nobody had actually
confirmed it. Well, what happened was they closed off that entire area this past year. So like you couldn't even really go visit that section.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably where some confusion came in, because like people just heard, oh, they closed Mind Eraser. Oh, like they closed Mind Eraser.
No, there's been closed and bulldozed to the ground.
Yeah, exactly. But they're also getting a Zamperla Nebulas. They're going to refresh their rapids. They're doing an overhaul of the bumper cars. They're adding a new like quick service food location. So this should be nice for this park.
That was one of the worst parts of the park. So.
Yeah.
Like I never went back there because one, I don't like the coaster, and two, the theming was kind of.
Yes. All right. So Six Flags Over Texas. This is an interesting one. They're taking their original log flume. When I say original, like it is the first log flume. And they're turning it into one of the world's longest flume experiences.
How is it? Like, are they just doubling the, like, are they adding more?
Well, supposedly, so there's like a smaller flume right next door that apparently everyone's saying that they're just going to combine them into one ride. So they're renaming it as El Aserradero, and now they're changing to El Rio Lento. This is going to be one that's going to be really interesting. They said you're going to encounter 2 drops in total, 1 lift hill. So like they're definitely going to have to make some big changes to this, but like I don't know, that's an interesting one. I definitely did not have that on my bingo card.
I've never seen a park do that. Like, let's take 2 flumes and just kind of stitch them together.
We have 3 new roller coasters in the Six Flags chain. Great Adventure, Over Georgia, and Great Escape. Over Georgia was the first one to announce it. They're getting an Ultra Surf from Intamin, so that's a first of its kind, which should be super fun.
Everyone nailed it with the prediction, because whoever like figured that out, that was really smart.
Yep. They needed a launch coaster. It's gonna spin. They don't have a spinning coaster, so like all around that will be a really nice addition there, I think.
I feel like everyone who lives in that area, who's like an enthusiast, like wanted something a bit more like dynamic, a little more unique.
Well, when most people think, all right, let's put a launch coaster at Over Georgia, most people think, all right, Max Force, right?
Yeah.
Like something like that. But, you know, this is still going to be good. Like, it'll fit really well in that plot of land that has been sitting empty for so long. Six Flags Great Adventure. So this was one that, again, we also just, like, nailed it on the head with, like, our predictions. It is a Vekoma Super Boomerang.
And it is called Vertical Velocity.
The Flash Vertical Velocity.
Not another V coaster.
Same exact name as Six Flags Great Americas and Discovery Kingdoms.
We already gave like our extensive thoughts about it in like our video where we were kind of looking at all the different markings and stuff. And we said the downfalls of this and what would make it really great.
Capacity's the biggest downside.
I was going to say that was the biggest one that we talked about, is like it's going to be one train.
Yeah.
At a park.
No
that
turntable.
gets a lot of people.
Yes. But in terms of like roller coaster, look, they needed a launch coaster that wasn't King Ka. It's going to go forwards and backwards, which pays homage to Batman and Robin the Chiller and lightning loops. So
I'm not going to lie, I was kind of hoping it would be like literally called the Chiller or something. That would have been super cool.
That would have been interesting. Sure. This actually is in the Metropolis section where there's like DC themes, so it does make sense that it would have a DC theme. Here was my biggest surprise about this. Cyborg is still there. Which
did not expect that.
Okay, like obviously it's a very thin layout, and like if you go back and watch the video when we were literally at the park, like looking at the markings, you can see that it makes sense that the layout would fit in the exact plot of land that we examined. However, what threw us off was there are a bunch of markings around Cyborg that would not be for that long thin layout. So there's just markings near that attraction that now I'm like, what were those for?
To mess with us. They just been out there like, let's mess with the enthusiasts.
I don't think so, though.
I know.
Like,
obviously not. I don't know.
It's really, really strange. So I'm wondering if like something's gonna happen with it that hasn't been announced yet, or maybe they were originally looking at that and then like they shifted their plans, and so then those are just left over from like the original idea.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's very strange, but like with how unreliable and unpopular that attraction is, I thought for sure it was gonna be a goner.
I kind of thought so too, especially putting it next to something that in theory should always be open because it's Vekoma.
Well, and
they're so reliable.
Several of these parks are adding more than one ride, so the other theory was that, okay, they would be putting in another flat ride where Cyborg was to go along with the Flash.
Literally anything else would be better.
Yeah, that was a strange one. But
I'm excited.
No, it'll be good.
It's like the first big Vekoma coaster, like new age Vekoma that is not at like a Disney park.
Yeah, or Big Bear Mountain. That's very tame, you know.
Well,
so
it's family coaster. I'm talking thrill. This is
in the U.S., we haven't seen something like that. I think you can tell that this was a rather last minute addition, which is something that Six Flags, they literally said. Like, they probably had, Vekoma likely had one of these sitting around. It probably was going to go to another park that fell through or something. They're like, hey, we got a boomerang. Who wants it? And Six Flags is like, hey, actually, we have a park that's celebrating a 50th anniversary that we have nothing currently planned for.
So there you go.
Yeah. Actually, that's not true. They're upgrading the Ferris wheel and their log flume.
Well,
doing some refurbishments.
They're bringing back the off-road safari adventure.
Yep.
And they're adding like a lodge, which is essentially like glamping.
Glamorous camping.
Yeah, so like they're not, you know, like go in your backyard and pitch a tent kind of thing. Like they're like pre-made and they're like very nice, and you get to like stay by the safari and like right.
Are you in the animal exhibits?
I
sure hope
Taylor,
so.
Like the lions just come up and sniff your tent and I'm like, totally.
That'd be awesome. All right, so that's Great Adventure. So last but not least, this one totally surprised, I think, everyone.
Yeah.
Great Escape is adding a Gravity Group family coaster.
And it is very, very similar to Timber at Wallaby Roan Alps, which we just did not that long ago.
And you guys haven't seen the vlog yet, but spoiler alert, I thought that was the
really
best
good.
Gravity Group family coaster.
It's so good. Now, they don't have the little bunny hills at the end, which I feel like was one of our
It's a little shorter.
Yeah, but I still think the rest of the layout's really, really good.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So it is assumed that it is going to take the spot of Alpine Bobsled, which is closing very, very soon. During our one visit to Great Escape, we did get to experience it.
I know, I didn't realize how lucky we were.
I know, neither did I. But Great Escape has not gone a roller coaster since 2005. So in 2024, that's almost 20 years since the previous edition, and it was a kiddie coaster.
I do think it's a little odd that their big coaster at their park right now is Comet.
And they're adding another wind coaster.
I feel like they need a big steel coaster. Like
right now their big
big
steel coasters are Boomerang and Steam and Demon.
Well, that's a horrible ride. Steam and Demon is so bad.
Yeah, so I personally don't think I would have gone with the Gravity Group family coaster either. However, they are so fun. Any good non-cloned coaster is going to be a welcome addition to this park. Yeah. And they are a family park. They really are. So it does, like, I get it.
But they have, I mean, Comet's great. So they have two great family. Well, Comet is like technically not
it's
a family.
Thrill, but
like,
yeah. They'll have two good wind coasters.
Exactly, yeah. But I do think whatever's next should be steel, guys.
Overall, I think Six Flags 2024, we got some good stuff.
I think so too. I think they did a really good job of coming up with things, like I said, that are all meaningful and interesting and unique.
Yeah, they said that they're spending, it was like $200 million on capital investments for 2024. And so that's what all the stuff across the chain is going towards. That is a big change from when Salim Basul was like, we aren't going to add any new rides at all, but we're going to jack up the prices anyways.
I feel like they quickly realized that was a terrible idea.
Yep.
I mean, it is.
Can't turn Walmart into Disney. I think I just combined two euphemisms into one, but
I don't know what that was.
Anyways, let us know down in the comments below what you think of Six Flags 2024. What are you most excited about? If there's anything you disagree with, if you think there's anything that they should be adding instead, please let us know. And of course, stay tuned for more Six Flags and theme park related videos here at Coaster Studios. And we'll see you next time.